As this space of fragrance collecting and fragcom online gets larger, I feel like it's becoming less and less common for bottles to actually be finished in a collection. I happened to finish Rarity Blue, a few weeks ago, and it just kind of sparked an idea in my head to talk about this more, as I feel like it's not covered as much. It seems as of late, with a lot of social media influence, that the fragcom online community, online presence of fragrance is really just focused on pushing the new stuff to you. It's really focused on maybe, old vintage bottles that you're just like in dire need to collect. Finishing a bottle can definitely be associated with several things. I've got Rarity Blue from Afnan. For me, it comes from that utility standpoint, perhaps. This works in a lot of settings, and whether they are more exciting, more mundane, I still feel connected to a lot more memories because of this scent. Majority, I would probably say positive memories, but I've talked to some people. Of course, a fragrance could easily be associated with some bad memories too. So maybe you do throw those out and you finished a bottle early. No judgment, of course. Everyone's experiences are different, understandably. I wouldn't say too much with this fragrance in particular, but some people have a kind of comfort fragrance, if you will, something they just kind of reach for when they want to be more at ease, more comfortable, more confident. So I could definitely see that being a very justifiable reason to finish off a bottle. Those may be in a lot of more emotionally sensitive moments, and I guarantee you some of them at least, you're going to look back and remember, wow, I was wearing that fragrance. So just an interesting thing to kind of reflect on. And it goes to say, of course, a lot of fragrances, even people outside of the fragcom really look at a fragrance as being their signature, part of their identity, if you will. That's probably the most common one, if you will, as to why a fragrance is finished. But I did want to touch on those maybe less talked about ones, just because in the fragcom you might have a daily for a week and then switch, whatever it may be, right? The situation is a little different, so I wanted to dial it in a little bit. But signature scent, probably the most common as to why you finish a bottle sooner. And while creating this kind of general frame of the video, where I wanted to take this, I also started thinking about how your taste in fragrance and just even your nose, your olfactive experiences, the experience you're gathering is obviously going to ramp up a lot quicker than you can finish a bottle. So I think for myself, that's another way to look back on the memory. Again, with Rarity Blue, very inexpensive, one of the first fragrances I bought. I just remember, being online, whether it was Parfumo or, YouTube videos, and just deciding, I want to try this, citrusy family, little more long lasting than other citruses, and that kind of just started to check all the boxes for me early in my journey. And I didn't want to overstep in any DNA, not just the citrus kind of everyday fragrance, but any DNA. I was kind of leaning on the side of let's not splurge right away, if you will, right? So I did get a sample. I mean, shoot, that was like a few bucks, $4 for I think 3 mLs. And the fragrance is only $35, but again, I just wanted to make sure that's really what I wanted. I tried a ton of other stuff too at the same time, so it's not like I just picked this and only sampled it. I probably got 30-40 samples all at once when I first started out. I can just vividly remember all of this because I was smelling a lot of these fragrances. Rarity Blue is one of the ones I actually picked up, so it does really tie back into the origin, if you will. And of course, like I said, everyone's experiences are different. I'm assuming a lot of people don't sample online as their first gateway into fragrance. Probably go to Sephora, the mall, maybe Neiman Marcus, like a boutique store. So everyone's experience is different, but it is just fun to look back and see how much progress you can make. Like I said, it gets trickier and trickier once you start collecting. I think once you get to 5 to 10, it is definitely going to be hard to finish a bottle. But at least for myself, I can say this was a very finite moment that helped me really feel confident in the fragrance choices I was making, and really made me commit to something without spending too much. I think that's kind of like the balance of everything. Again, like I mentioned, checking off all the boxes, and kind of helped me build that ideal fragrance, or what I'm looking for in a fragrance, as the foundation, and has helped me get to where I am now. And I still look for certain things in fragrances. I mean, at this point in time, Rarity Blue, I was amazed that something like this existed at $30. At the time I didn't know any better, right? I enjoyed what this $35 fragrance could bring in terms of the quality and profile, and I would say even today it does hold up. But the longer you're in this space, you can yeah, you start picking out things a little more. The Ambroxan musk base is heavier, and I think it really does benefit the fragrance overall, but you will start to go a little nose blind most likely to it, even if you do have a really good nose. But again, had I picked something else in place of this, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much. So I am just glad that this is the one I kind of associate a lot of memories with. Would I pick it up again though? That's a different question. Most likely not, but I think the value of all the experiences I gathered, all of the knowledge I gathered, that's more than enough for me to feel happy with what it's done and what it's resulted in. And yeah, I'm not too stressed about whether I pick it up again or not. Again, it's not discontinued, it's not super expensive. So it really is just an ideal place, at least for me, to kind of start off. And this is where the conversation really opens up to all of you. I want you to continue pushing yourself in, whether you finish the bottle or not, looking back and getting all those memories associated with that fragrance, kind of racked in your head again, or just seeing the value that the fragrance brought to you outside of the monetary value, no matter how cheap or expensive that fragrance was, how notable were some of those memories for you. Really, that's just the whole emphasis of the video. Is I absolutely understand that consuming is a huge part of this community and this hobby. I mean, literally you spray fragrance on and it evaporates and you consumed it in that literal way, right? Not even just like purchasing, but so yeah, it's a huge aspect of the community, but at the same time, I don't want it to over engross everything that we're here to do and enjoy and, share with one another. So yeah, that's kind of my test, maybe, yeah, leave them in the comments. Tell me about some of the fragrances that, whether you have them or don't have them, good or bad experiences, those memories are there. But yeah, it really just comes down to more of looking at a bottle as being empty and seeing it as a positive light. Maybe looking forward to your next purchase, or just knowing what notes and DNA you really want, and seeing that an empty bottle really confirms that. I think the more bottles you get, it's really hard to really know what's your favorite, or your favorite might not be the one that you wear the most. So you can look back and see what fragrance is really serving you, what you are really actually consuming and using, and yeah, maybe compare that to your favorite fragrance, because this would definitely not be my favorite fragrance, but here we are, it's gone. So yeah, it's just interesting to me. Oh, one thing I forgot to touch on too, we'll wrap it up with this. A fragrance that you maybe have emptied may have not been worn for just you. There might be other people that you wear the fragrance for. That's another thing you should contrast and compare as well. How much of that fragrance did you wear for yourself, or did you wear for outward comments, or compliments, or did you wear it because somebody in your life likes it a lot? For me, that would be Hawass Ice. My girlfriend really likes that one, so I think I'm on my second bottle of that. And like I said, yeah, I wouldn't repurchase this most likely, but of course, Hawass Ice, if my girl likes it, come on, I can't just not buy it, right? It's gotta exist at all times. But yeah, that's just another funny thing too. That's a fun way to wrap it up. But this is a new way of me storytelling, kind of conducting my ideas. So it felt a little rough. Hope you liked the concept though. I just want to keep improving on this type of video. Really just conceptualizing more before I actually produce stuff. So let me know how this went. I'll see you in another. It's Patrick here. Take care.